Hello, everybody. We're going to review the Chapter 3 review test. I'm actually going to, you might have watched this video earlier and the sound cut out in the middle, so I'm going to try it again. Okay, so explain how to find 40 times 50 using mental math. Well, okay, so let's think of 50 as 5 tens. Okay, so 5 tens. So what is 40 times 5 tens? 5 times 4 is 20. So we'd have 200. 5 times 4, 20, but there's a 0 in 40. So 210, which equals 2,000. Okay. Number 2, Mrs. Trainer's class is taking a field trip to the zoo. The trip will cost $26 for each student. There are 22 students in her class. Round each factor to estimate the total cost of the student's field trip. So we have $26 times 22 students. 22 would get rounded to 30. 22 would get rounded down to 20. And so 2 times 0 is 0, and 2 times 3 is 6. So 600. About $600 would be the estimate. Okay. Now use compatible numbers to estimate the cost of the field trip. And so this time, so we still have 26 times 22, but we're going to change the 26 to 25, and we'll change the 22 to 20. Okay. And so 25 times 20. Well, 0 times 25 is 0. And 20 times 25. 2 times 5 is 10. Regroup the 10 ones as 110. 2 times 2 tens is 4. Plus 1 more is 5. So 25 times 20 is 500. And so then, which do you think is the better estimate, and explain? Well, they're not terribly off, but let's see. On the 26, I rounded up, and on the 22, I rounded down. So they kind of cancel each other, around one up, one down. In this one, 26, I actually made it a little smaller, and I also made 22 smaller. So if I round both my numbers lower, I'm underestimating the amount. And this one could be balanced because I rounded one up and one down. So in theory, I guess rounding the factors would give me a more accurate estimate. And so I'm just answering the question right now. Which one did I think is a better estimate? And so I'm stating which one I think is the best. Okay. And then I have to explain why I think that. Well, as I said, um, that is because one of the factors was rounded up. and the other factor was rounded down. So the estimate is probably closer to the real amount. All right, 136. Numbers 3 through 7. All right, for numbers 3A through 3E, select yes or no if the answer is correct. So is 35 times 10 350? Well, 35 times 110. 35 times 110. That's 35 tens. 35 tens is 350. So yes. 19 times 20. So 19 times 2 tens. 19 times 2 tens is 38 tens. And 38 tens is 380. So that's also true. 12 times 100. Well, I know this is not true because 100 has 2 zeros. So my answer will have 2 zeros, at least 2 zeros. So this is no. In fact, we could just say 12 times 100, that's 12 hundreds. And that's not 1200 right there. 70 times 100. Well, there's 1, 2, 3 zeros. So that's probably correct. 70 hundreds is 7,000. So yes. And 28 times 30. So 28 times 3 tens. 3 times 8 is 24. Regroup the 20 of the ones as 2 tens. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 more is 84. So 84 tens. Okay, 84 tens is 840. This is nowhere close to that, so no. All right, now number 4. There are 23 boxes of pencils in Mr. Shaw's supply cabinet. Each box contains 100 pencils. How many pencils are in the supply cabinet? 100 pencils per box. There's 23 boxes, and every box has 100 pencils. So we have 23 hundreds. Okay. 23 sets of 100 is 23 hundreds, or 2,300 pencils. Number 5. Which would provide a reasonable estimate for each product? Write the estimate beside the product. An estimate may be used more than once. All right, so I see that these are probably rounded to the tens. This is compatible numbers, and this one's probably rounded to the tens. So 23 times 38. 23 could get rounded to 20, and 38 could get rounded to 40. Is 20 times 40 one of our estimates? No. So the only other option is to change to 23 to 25 and use compatible numbers. So we're going to put 25 times 40 right there. 31 times 32. 31 is close to 30. 32 is close to 30. 30 times 30. Yes, that is one of our choices. 46 times 18. Well, if I round 46 up, I get 50. If I round 18 up, I get 20. And I see that that's one of our choices, 50 times 20. And the last one, 39 times 21. If we round 39 up to 40 and 21 down to 20, 40 times 20. Well, again, I don't see a 40 times 20. So what did they probably do? They probably turned the 21 into 25. So we're going to put 25 times 40 as the best estimate for that one. Okay. You wouldn't round this to 30. That would really distort it, and 39 is not close to 50. So the closest, most reasonable one is 25 times 40. Okay, number 6. There are 26 baseball teams in the league. Each team has 18 players. Write a number sentence that will provide a reasonable estimate for the number of players in the league, and explain how you found your estimate. Okay, so write a number sentence that will provide a reasonable estimate. So we have 26 baseball teams and we have 18 players. So that would be 26 times 18. So what would be a reasonable number sentence for an estimate? Well, we could say 25 times 20 if we use compatible numbers, or 30 times 20 if we round to the nearest tens. So 25 times 20 is 500. Two sets of 25 is 50. So, and then we have a 0 in the 20, so 500. And 30 times 20 is 600, because 3 times 2 is 6, and each of these end in a 0, so 600. Explain how you found your estimate. 500 if I round, if I use compatible numbers. If I round to the nearest 10, it would be 600. Okay, so depends on how you round it. All right, the model shows 48 times 37. Write the partial products. All right, so the first one is 30 times 40. This box here is 30 times 40. 4 times 3 is 12, and they both end in 0, so 1200. Then this next box is 30 times 8. 30 times 8. 8 times 3 tens is 24 tens, or 240. Then we have 7 times 40. And 7 times 4 tens is 28 tens, or 280. And last, we have 7 times 8, which is 56. So write the partial products. Okay, it didn't tell me anything about adding them. It just write the partial products. So we did that. All right, number 8. Jess made this model to find the products of 32 and 17. Her model is incorrect. What did Jess do wrong? Well, let's examine it. 30 times 10. 30 times 10. Well, that's not 40. She must have added the 30 and the 10 to get 40. Because if she had multiplied, she would have got 300. And then 30 times 7, she wouldn't have got 37. She would have gotten 210, because 7 times 3 is 21. 21 tens is 210. 2 times 10 is not 12. 2 times 10 is 20. And 2 times 7 does not equal 9. 2 times 7 equals 14. So she added. All right, so she added instead of multiplying. Redraw the model so that it is correct. So there was nothing wrong with what she put on the outsides. She broke up the 30 as 30 plus 2. That's fine. She broke up the 7 as 10 plus 7. I suppose Jess could be a boy too, so I don't know. You choose what you want. Okay, 30 times 10, we said was 300. 30 times 7, we said was 210. 2 times 10 was 20. And 2 times 7 was 14. So now add those partial products. Okay, 300 plus 210 plus 20 plus 14. We get 4 in the ones place. We'll get 4 in the tens place. And we'll have 5 hundredths. So if we compare the answers, 544 versus 98, yeah, she was way off because she added. All right, number 9. Tatum wants to use partial products to find 15 times 32. Write the numbers in the boxes to show 15 times 32. So we can break up the 15 as 10 and 5. I can break up the 32 as 30 and 2. So I'd have to multiply the 10 of 15 times both the 30 and the 2. I'd have to multiply the 5 of 15 by 30 and 2. Okay. So that's how we would break that up. Number 10. Which product is shown by the model? Write the letter of the product on the line below the model. Okay, so we have 3 different models. And I don't even need to really look at the numbers inside the box. All I have to see is how to break up the numbers. So 13 times 13. That's right here, right? 10 plus 3 is 13. 10 plus 3 is 13. So this one matches C. 24 times 14. Well, 30 plus 6 is not 24. 10 plus 4 is 14. And 20 plus 4 is 24. So this one is B. And then this one must be the 17 times 36. 30 and 6 is 36. 10 and 7 is 17. So, A. 11. Mrs. Jones places 3 orders for school t-shirts. Each order has 16 boxes of shirts, and each box holds 17 shirts. How many t-shirts does Mrs. Jones order? Use partial products to help. Okay, so we have 3 orders for school t-shirts. Each order has 16 boxes, and each box holds 17 shirts. Okay, so $17 times 16. Well, that would be 10 plus 7 and 10 plus 6. So we can have 10 times 10 plus 10 times 7. Sorry, 10 times 7. We can have 6 times 10 plus 6 times 7. And then when we find that answer, we're going to multiply them all by 3 because she has 3 of these orders. So this is just one order. 10 times 10, 100. 10 times 7, 70. 6 times 10, 60. 6 times 7, 42. We're going to add those all together and then multiply by 3. So 100 plus 70 is 170. 60 and 42 is 102. Okay, I'm just combining these two to simplify them. 2 plus 0 is 2. 6 and 4 is 10. So 170 plus 102 is 272 times 3. 272 times 3. 3 times 2 ones is 6 ones. 7 times 3 tens is 21 tens. Regroup the 21 tens as 200s and 110. 3 times 200 is 6, plus 2 more is 8. So 816 t-shirts. Number 12, write the unknown digits. Use each digit only once. Okay, so how did they get 3,000? Maybe that's not the easiest one to start with. What's this one down here? That's the 3 times the 6 ones, right? So that's 18. So 3 times 6. 3 times 40, which equals 3 times 4 tens. How much is 3 times 4 tens? 120. So the 1 goes there. We've used the 8. Okay, so we've multiplied the top and the bottom by 3 and the 46. Now we're going to move to the 9s. Okay, and we have 90 times 4 tens. 90 times 4 is 360 tens, or 3,600. And 90 times 6 equals 540. Okay, I did switch the order of these, but clearly 90 times 4 is 3,600. It couldn't go here, right? So it has to go here. 13. Mike has 16 baseball cards. Nico has 17 times as many baseball cards as Mike does. How many baseball cards does Nico have? Mike has 16 baseball cards. Nico has 17 times as many. So what is 16 times 17? So if we stack 16 times 17, okay, we can have 10 times 10, that's 100. 10 times 10 is 100. 10 times 6 is 60. 7 times 10 is 70. And 7 times 6 is 42. And then we would add those up. 2 plus nothing is 2. 6 and 4 is 10, plus 7 more is 17. Plus 1 and 1 is 2. So he has 272 baseball cards. And multiply 36 times 28. 36 times 28. Well, let's use this method. 8 times 36. 8 times 36. So 8 times 36 is 48. We would regroup the 4 tens. 41 as 4 tens. And 8 times 3 tens is 24 tens, plus 4 more is 28 tens. So 8 times 36 is 288. All right, then we would go to 20 times 36. And 20 times 36, 36 times 2 tens is how I'm seeing this in my head. 36 times 2 tens. That would be 72 tens. 36 times 2 tens. 72 tens, or 720. Add them together, and we get 1,008. Okay. Let's move on to number 15. A farmer planted 42 rows of tomatoes with 13 plants in each row. how many tomato plants did the farmer grow? 42 times 13. So 42 times 13. So we have 10 times 4 tens. 10 times 4 tens is 40 tens, or 400. We have 10 times 2 ones, which is 20 ones. We have 3 times 4 tens, which would be 12 tens, which is 120. And then we have 3 times 2 ones, which is 6. We add those together, we get 6. 2 and 2 is 4. 4 and 1 is 5. So we'd have 546 tomato plants. Okay, number 16. Select another way to show 25 times 18. Mark all that apply. All right, so here I see 20 and 5. That would be 25. 25. They broke up the 18 as 10 and 8. So 20 times 10, 20 times 8, that's right. 5 times 10, 5 times 8, that's right. So this is a good way of breaking it apart. The next one, 25 times 20. No, I'm not really sure what we're doing here, but if we're saying this is distributed property here, they didn't break up the 25. Well, they broke up the 25 this way, 20 and 5, but they're multiplying it by 25. It's not 25 times 25. It's 25 times 18. So that's not right. Could we go 20 times 18 plus 5 times 10 plus 5 times 8? Well, 5 times 10, yes. 5 times 8, all right. And could we then go 20 times 18? Yeah, we could. Okay. Because all they're doing here is just keeping the 18 together instead of breaking it apart as 20 times 10 plus 20 times 8. That'll work. 25 times 10 plus 25 times 8. Yeah, that's fine. We're splitting up the 18 to make it easier and multiplying both of those add-ins by 25. That'll work. 25 times 20 plus 25 times 5. No, that would be 25 times 25. So no. All right, 17. Terrell runs 15 sprints. Each sprint is 65 meters. How many meters does Terrell run? Show your work. 65 meters every sprint. So he has 65 times 15, which is the same as saying 10 times 6 tens. 10 times 6 tens is 60 tens, or 600. We also have 10 times 5 ones, which is 50. 5 times 6 tens. 5 times 6 tens is 30 tens, or 300. And finally, 5 times 5 ones is 25 ones. So we add those up. We get 5 in the ones place. We have 7 tens. And we have 9 hundreds. So 975 meters. Number 18. There are 3 new seats in each row in a school auditorium. There are 15 rows in the auditorium. Each new seat costs $74. What is the cost? 3 new seats, 15 rows. So 15 rows of 3 new seats. Each seat costs $74. So if I was just writing that out as an equation, I would say 15 times 3 times 74. So multiply 15 rows of 3 new seats to get 45 seats. Multiply the 45 seats by $74. So 3 times 15 is 45. Okay, 15, 30, 45. If you get stuck, you can always multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. Regroup the 10 of the 15 ones as 110. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 110, 45. And then we need to multiply 45 times 74. So we'd write it stacked on top of each other, and we'd have 40 times 7 tens. 40 times 7 tens is 280, or 2,800. Okay, we'd have 40 times 4 ones, which equals 160. We'd have 5 times 7 tens, which is 35 tens, or 350. And finally, we'd have 5 times 4 ones, which equals 20. If we add those up, we have 0 ones. I have 0 ones. I have 13 tens. I'll regroup that as 1 100 and 3 tens. 8, 9, 10, 13 hundreds. I'll regroup that as 1,000 and 3 hundreds. And 2,000 plus 1,000 is 3,000. So it's going to cost them $3,330 to replace their 45 seats. Okay. 19. Ray and Ella helped move their school library to a new building. Ray packed 27 boxes with 25 books in each box. Ella packed 23 boxes with 30 books in each box. How many more books did Ella pack? How many more tells me to subtract. The first part, I'm going to have to multiply. So Ray and Ella. So Ray is 27 times 25. Ella is 23 times 30. All right, so 220 times 2 tens is 40 tens, or 400. 20 times 7 ones is 140 ones. 5 times 2 tens is 10 tens, or 100. And 5 times 7 ones is 35. So Ray packed 675 books. Now Ella. Well, I know 0 times 23 is 0. Okay. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 2 is 6. So 690. So 690 take away 675. I can't take 5 from nothing, so I'll regroup. So now we have 10 take away 5 is 5 ones. 8 tens take away 7 tens is 1. 600 take away 600 is 0. So 15 more books. Okay, 15 more books. Now let's go on to number 20. Julius and Walt are finding the products of 25 and 16. Julius's answer is incorrect. What did Julius do wrong? Okay, well, let's see. So 150. How did he get 150? 6 times 25 equals 150. Yeah, that's good. And 10 times 25 equals 250. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. 2, 3, 4. It should have been 400, not 500. Julius added his partial products incorrectly. Okay. So he regrouped incorrectly. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4, not 5. All right. And in part B, it says, what did Walt do wrong? Okay, let's see what Walt did. Okay, Walt did 10 times 2 tens, which gave him 200. He did 10 times 5 ones, which is 50. He did 6 times 2 tens. 6 times 2 is 12, so 12 tens is 120. And he did 6 times 5 ones, which is not 300. So Walt multiplied 6 times 5 ones incorrectly. He should have got 30. Should have gotten 30, not 300. What is the correct product? 400. Okay. Julius was the closest. It should have been 150 plus 250, which would have given him 400. And the last one. A clothing store sells 26 shirts and 22 pairs of jeans. Each item of clothing costs $32. What is a reasonable estimate for the total cost of the clothing? Well, I don't think there's any reason to do a double multiplication problem because it says each item. So the shirts and the jeans apparently are the same price. So we can go 26 plus 22 times 32. But we want to add them together first, so I'm going to put those in parentheses. That tells me I have to do that first. 26 and 22 is 48 times 32. So what's a reasonable estimate? Well, 50, 48 can get rounded to 50, and 32 can get rounded down to 30. So 3 times 5 is 15. Add the 2 zeros from each of the tens. So it's going to cost them about $1,500. So $1,500. Add the shirts and jeans to get 48 and round that up. Multiply 50 times 30 to get 1,500. What is the exact answer? Okay, well, 48 times 32. $30 times 4 tens is 120 tens, or 1,200. 30 times 8 ones is 240. 2 times 4 tens is 8 tens, or 80. And 2 times 8 ones is 16. So if we add those together, we get 6 plus nothing is 6. 8 and 4 is 12, plus 1 more is 13 tens. We're going to regroup 10 of those 13 tens is 100. 2 and 2 is 400, plus 1 more is 500. And then the 1,000. So the exact answer is $1,536. 26 and 22 to get 48, and then multiply 48 by 32 to get $1,536. So what is the exact answer? 1,536. And what did we do to do that? We added 26 and 22, each of the items, to get 48, and then we multiplied the 48 by 32 to get 1,536. All right, and so that's it for your Chapter 3 review. Make sure you practice, and good luck on your tests. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.